All right. Hey, this is the first of four Bat Hack Championship playoffs edition of the game using playtest 3.0, which is the usage die edition, and also the Diamond Crawl edition. And I have Greg and Walter, who have not played before, and they are going to be making characters, and Keith is bringing JJ back. I'm very excited because I liked JJ, so... All right, cool. So to create your character, all you need to do is you're going to roll 3d6 down the line. So you roll 3d6 for speed, hitting, fielding, leadership, and likability. If you roll, oh man, I stuck in this new little bat footer, and it evidently is throwing everything offline. So sorry if stuff looks weird. I didn't even check that. All right. So if you roll a 15 plus, then the next one you have to roll is a 2d6 plus 2. And then after that, you roll 3d6 going down the line. Cool. We see that red is going to be JJ's color, and you guys don't have to be orange or green or blue. That's just leftover stuff from before. And there are lots of cool colors now. Orange, I think khaki, lavender. I'm waiting for taupe. I'm going to put in a vote for taupe. Wait, is taupe? Did I just see taupe? No, shoot. Okay, this is all in my head. All right. This is exciting. Oh, snap! Is that a 16?
Should we roll one at a time so we can watch with excitement as we get all the rolls? Bang, 16.
Sure. I'm already done with mine.
You're already done?
You got all yours done?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
going to start mine then.
Not a leader, but super likable.
Well, once you're done, you can swap any two. You can swap any two stats. So you can put that 16 wherever you want.
Right. I got
5 and oh my god, a 5 in leadership. It's awesome. You're a selfish son of a SOB.
All right, let's see. Ooh, they twirl now when you roll them. That's exciting.
That is the new roll for your party special that makes me excited, because then I can tell that for sure it's been re-rolled.
Okay, it's 11. So I'm looking really average so far. Let's see. Nice. I got an 8, 12, and 11. Let's see what else I got. 9. All right. I am Mr. Average.
Yay.
I got one more roll.
All right.
Ooh. All right. Maybe Mr. Below Average. 8, 12, 11, 9, and a 6.
Ouch.
Awesome.
That is painful. That hurts me to see.
All right.
Cool. So once you guys have those stats assigned, you of course can swap any one. So Walter, you can put those on rows 7 through 11 down the line.
Okay. My worst score is likability. I'm not very good, and nobody even likes me. I've got a lot going for me. Maybe I should swap some scores. So at least, hitting and fielding are my two best.
I swapped my fielding and likability.
Outfielder.
Awesome. So there are total of 5 positions. Just keep in mind we do have 2 outfielders. That's totally okay if you really feel strongly about playing an outfielder. The positions are catcher, which is kind of the leader on the field. Leadership is their strongest stat. So if you dump statted leadership, maybe you don't want to be the catcher. First baseman, which the big thing about the first baseman, usually they are the heavy hitters. So your effect die, which is how well you connect with the ball and can help you with extra base hits is higher than most. Middle infielder, which covers second base and shortstop. They have the weakest of effect dice in a D4, but we'll talk real briefly. I'm hand gesturing, even though I'm sharing screens. Why do I do that? The effect die, we'll talk about how the usage die can be used in lieu of that in just a little bit here. And they are good with, they're well liked, right? Scrappy infielders are important. And they're also very quick and nimble, often quite good at legging it out, which is when you want to steal a base or stretch a single into a double, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The third baseman is the second best hitter on the team. They are good at not getting hurt. Again, there are some weird assumptions in here. Sometimes third basemen do get hurt, but in this world, they're very good at making sure they don't get hurt, staying on board. But they roll with disadvantage when testing leadership. Maybe that was influenced by the movie Major Leagues. Who knows? All right, so outfielder, which again, one of you can be an outfielder if you would like. They are average hitters. They roll with advantage, which means you roll 2d20 instead of 1d20 when you test speed to steal bases. And they're really good at catching long fly balls. And you can, once a game, lay down a perfect bunt. So that you're really good at testing speed to catch a long fly ball, but on a regular easy pop-up, you have to roll with disadvantage when testing that fielding.
I just wanted to double check. Because it says
once per game. It should be and. Thank you. Good catch.
Okay. Once per game session, you can lay down a perfect bunt. So that would be however many games we play tonight. It is once tonight.
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, once per game.
That is how
session.
I understood that too.
I tried to differentiate once per 9-inning game. Like here is once per 9-inning game, and then once per game session. Like. Maybe I should come up with a different term for that. Maybe I'll just put a note there.
Yeah, it would be way too powerful per 9 innings. That's why I kind of read it that way. But
so I'm thinking the best position that would be maybe a third baseman or an outfielder. So since we have got 2 outfielders, I decided I'll try for third base.
Awesome. Oh, I tried to automate a little bit this. If you change to third base, you'll notice several things happen here. First, you have a starting HP, which hit points are how you avoid injury. So you can just roll a D8, add 4 to that, and that's your starting hit points. That's not your max. That's just what you start with. And I need to change that for.
I'm going with first baseman. I actually took back my switch and switched hitting to my 16.
Ooh, look at you. Speed of 15, hitting 16, fielding 13, leadership 5.
Leadership 5.
Gorgeous.
Not a friend.
I love how the stats are already sort of telling me a story about him.
Yes. Yes.
He knows he's the best. He doesn't have to pull you guys along with him.
I have an image at the bottom that I pulled off, and those who know Google Sheets and can help me out to get Douglas Bird a picture.
I've got you, bro.
Kane County Cougars, by the way, minor league baseball team near my hometown.
Nice.
Yep. Been to a couple of their games as well.
Kane County Cougars. I don't know if you guys have heard about the big to-do about a bunch of minor league teams got new names. Oh, shoot. Oh, I did do it. Sweet. There we go. You guys got us. This pick is up now. Oh, all right. Sweet. So that is a pretty great pick for your first baseman. So then once you've got that, you'll see here, like, for example, for Douglas Bird, nice name. First baseman named Bird, though. I am a Yankees fan, so that tickles me because they have a Bird first baseman and he sucks. Okay. When your team's behind after the 6th inning, you do not roll with disadvantage when swinging for the fences, and we'll go over what that means and when somebody comes up to bat. You roll with advantage when testing likability with the media. That's really important for helping out with your teamwork pool. While at bat, you can nullify the pitcher's challenge rating once per 9-inning game. And what that means is when you come up to bat against someone, how good the pitcher is compared to your level, and that will affect your target number. If you blame someone else for the failure, then you can re-roll the team usage die once per 9-inning game. And of course, that's probably going to make it tough for you from a teamwork perspective. But hey, if that's what you want to do, you can do it. And you can roll with disadvantage. You have to roll with disadvantage. This is your one like special feature that's not great. Is you roll with disadvantage when testing speed. But you have a good speed, so hopefully that will even out. So the things you need to fill out, Greg, are down here in the why do you play? So why do you dream of playing in pro baseball leagues? There's several of these, like legacy. You could be related to or inspired.
I'm going with legacy. My daddy, Big Bird. My daddy, Big Bird, plays for. I don't. Pick your favorite major league team, or something, and there's a bit of a chip on my shoulder having to live up to his reputation.
All right, cool. And then as a first baseman, the media and the fans see you as a star. How do you handle being a star? That's completely open to you. And then the last one is not position specific. It's minor leaguers don't get paid much. How do you make ends meet? And there's a try to hold down a job, which means you have a part-time job with weird hours. You room with other ball players, so you're all in a crappy apartment fighting for space, or you live with a host family. In minor leagues, there are often these people who are super fans, and maybe they have an empty nest syndrome going on, and they offer you a place to live during the 6 months or so that you are in that town. Other details are where you can just put stuff like the details you gave me, Greg, about your Big Bird dad. And then the last thing, this is just mostly for fun, is your walk-up song, which would be the song that plays as you're walking up to bat. All right, so we've got David Williams, Walter. Tell us a little bit about him. You went with third baseman. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah, David Williams. He's so I went with he's dreams of playing pro baseball because it's a challenge. Given his stats, I think it really is. I think he just wants to prove everybody wrong who said he had no natural talent and he couldn't make it. He's like, no, I'm gonna make it. I'm like Pete Rose. I'm gonna just hustle and outwork everybody, and I'm totally gonna make it. Totally convinced of that.
I'm a fan of David Williams. Him and Ski are gonna get along. I bet. Sweet. And then at the hot corner, line drives and hard grounders come at you all the time. And I should probably expand that so you can see the actual question part. Oh, wait. Well, that's weird.
Let's see, there's no, the answers didn't show up, but I could type something in. I got the printed out, the rules here.
Yeah. Are you always on edge, Zen, or you charge your player safe? Play them safe.
I'm gonna say I charge them.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Minor leaguers don't get paid much. You got live with host family. I love that. Thank you, Walter. And quickly go to the Story Games names book.
Nice. Find my host family info.
Find your host family. '60s America is where I'm going. I'm gonna roll a d20 just to be perfectly random, guys. I'm just doing it. I'm crazy. Come on. Okay, select. 19. Oh, nice. It's the Gonzalez family.
Awesome.
All right, sweet. And then let's just make sure we don't repeat any names. We've got a Douglas, a David, a JJ. And so we have
we get to pick walk-up songs.
Yeah, you sure do.
I'll think about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Have to be right away. Cool. All right. Good stuff. And just so you know, we have "Don't Let Start" by They Might Be Giants, and "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake are a couple of the walk-up songs we have so far.
Nice.
And that brings you to a point. I generally think of the setting here as kind of a yesteryear. I don't want to deal with Twitter and Facebook and MLB Network. So your minor league team is on the radio. Your minor league team, you guys are in Gauntlet City. You play for the Goblins, and so there's K-Gob, which is the radio station. There's a local rag, local newspaper that covers the games, and but the radio reporter is Jane Forrester, and she's the person who gets in, asks all the hard questions. By hard questions, it's usually, why did you fail at this thing when you should have hit a ball or caught a ball? And then you have to explain why. So that's it. I'll put the Gonzalez. And for the Gonzalez family, sweet. So for the Gonzalez family, I think they're a bit of an empty nest. Their daughter is currently attending. She's attending college at Galarian University, and the Galarian Pathfinders are one of the teams that are in your Midwest Division. I realized that I'd originally pitched this as a round robin, but that's dumb because that's a way more games than we could ever get through. So it's a tourney result with a loser's bracket. That way, if you guys lose, you're still going to get to play. That's my smartness for the day. That's all I got.
We don't need to worry about losing.
Well, I hope you don't. Cool. So that is character creation. You've got all your guys. Let me just take a moment here to fill out the lineup card. So if you guys want to take a look at the game time tab on your character keeper, you guys will see that you are going to be playing in the first round of the Midwest Divison Cup. You're playing the Riften Dog Boys. And you guys will be at Riften. We're going to start off with you guys actually in like walking onto the field. We're going to do just a few minutes to get to know you before we jump into the game, and then we'll start playing through. But I need to build our lineup here. Now, we've got a fantastic hitter here with Douglas Bird, super speedy JJ. So JJ's definitely going to be our leadoff hitter. And Stosh, I think Ski is going to be absent. So we're gonna take Ski. He's basically playing with his family. He had a thing he couldn't get out of. So there's that. Let me stick you guys into the lineup. Little Bird, so great. We shouldn't make me laugh as much as it does, but I love it anyway. All right, we're gonna replace. Oh, should do that. What number does Doug Bird have? Does not affect anything in the game.
Let me roll 2d6.
Oh, it's a low number. Okay.
62.
All right. Is he right-hander, left-hander, switch hitter?
Right-hander.
Okay. And bats right, throws right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is he tall, short? Height?
Yeah, medium build. Maybe a little bit tall, leggy. He's got speed.
Sweet. All right. We'll say he's like 6 foot tall. Awesome. And now we got to figure out our third baseman. Ooh, yay! A picture for David Williams already popping in.
Yeah, I also randomly pulled up a number. I got 17 for my jersey.
Sweet.
I think that.
I think I ended up getting.
JJ's got that number.
I mean, I'll sell it to you.
He's already got that number.
Yeah, JJ already has it.
Then
I'm not attached to it. If you want to pry it out of my hands, we could have a friendly wager.
All right, let's try. Well, I just rolled a 69. Let's go with that.
Oh, that's great. Oh, Dave. So is he bat right, left, or a switch hitter?
He bats. Yeah, he's a switch hitter. Yeah.
Nice. And is he throw right or left right? Throw right or throw left? What the hell?
He throws right.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So taking a look at Dave, he's pretty average. I think he's going to be a little low in the order here. We're going to probably bat you 6th, 5th. Yeah, 6th. 6th feels right to me. All right. So.
Yeah, the coaches and managers always say that, but I'll prove them wrong.
Darn right you will. It's a tournament, so it's important to do that. I think that Little Bird is going to be our number 3 hitter. Number 3 in the lineup, number 1 in your hearts, Douglas Bird. Let's see here. I think Brick DeVore is going to be batting 7th. That's your catcher. Old Brick.
Notice we also have 2 62s.
Oh,
Donnie Sands has 62.
Thank you. Eagle-eyed number counter there. Thank you very much. That is important information. It is literally like it makes me feel better that it's fixed. So thank you. All right, we got our PCs here. I like to highlight you guys because sometimes I will lose you. So let's see. I think Gosuke is going to be batting 8th because he is a fly hitter. He is not good at power. So bottom half of your order is not great. So let's stick somebody in the middle there. We have got first short. So those are going to be our starting second baseman. It's going to be Hoi-Jun Park. He likes batting after you. It's pretty good there, JJ, don't you think? All right. After Douglas, who's our cleanup hitter going to be, is probably, see, we've got first, second, third, and short covered, so it's going to be an outfielder. We will go with Alexander Palma, and then followed by, this Palma is a right fielder. We'll go with Terrence Robertson. I'm starting to think better of this. Hold on a second here. I think David Williams is going to get moved up to the 5th spot. Yeah, break that up.
Already moving up in the world, Davey.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
Just a matter of time.
All right, there we go. Cool. So
not that much time either. That was like 10 minutes.
Was literally 10 minutes. It's that lineup card. It's very challenging. You can see here our manager, Michael Hernandez. Eric Duncan spoke up for you. There, Dave. He said, David, I'm feeling good about him today. I saw him in the batting cage. And let's move him up. Let's move him to 5th. See what he can do after Palma. So
nice. Duncan's my buddy.
Evidently. We just found that out. And it must be true now. I love it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the scene. So Riften is a 3-hour drive from Gauntlet City. Riften is a city that is back on the rise with a bit of tech going on. There's a Chinese tech firm that's come in and has built a recent manufacturing area, and there's been a tech jobs that have come in. There's a Riften College here, and so the Riften Dog Boys are a team that's been on the rise. A nicer stadium, much nicer than Gauntlet City Stadium. It was built like 3 years ago. It's got like skyboxes and VIP section, and it's done in an old brick style. Like, remember when Camden Yards first came, and it was more of a classic baseball stadium. This is 100% baseball stadium. It's not as nice as Galarian's stadium. The Galarian Pathfinders, those guys, so much money. But Riften's not too bad. And so you guys come riding in on the Goblins bus. I don't know if you are looking on the game time, but you've got your mascot there. If you look on row 17, you've got your Goblin mascot. You guys, he travels with you guys. He does not wear the costume on the bus, but he does have his stuff in the gear underneath the bus, you know. And so as we start off our game session, we'll start off with just kind of seeing the bus come in the last few miles as you're heading into Riften. You can see the lights. Oh no, you probably are before that. So it's starting to be dusk, right? The sun's starting to set. Game first pitch is 7:05, and it's August, so the sun will be going down by the time that you guys have first pitch, and you guys are pulling into Riften. Where is it that David is seated on the bus? The guy who's like first out. Does he wave the back because the bathroom somewhere in the middle? Where does David sit?
David sits kind of close to the front of the bus. He likes to overhear what the manager and the coach are talking about, who usually sit up in the front of the bus. He tries to keep abreast of what's going on, so he can stay a step ahead all the time. He's always got to be on his toes, stay a step ahead.
Nice. Yeah, you overheard, Michael commiserating with his hitting coach, Eric Duncan, two of them talking over the lineup card. And you were the first to hear when you ended up in the 5th position there. This is, David, been putting a lot of faith in you. I know you're a scrappy kid, 5th position. Palma's going to be on base a lot. So
yeah, I won't let you down. I'm feeling really good. I'm so psyched for this game. I'm healthy. My head's in a good place. This is going to be a good game.
He claps you on the shoulder. All right. And Eric Duncan, he's like, yeah. So what about Douglas Bird? Where does he sit on the bus? What do we see about him?
Douglas Bird very rarely sits down on the bus. And is constantly sort of pacing back and forth in the aisle between the seats, checking in with teammates, almost to the point of annoyance. Just like checking in with people and be like, "Hey, last game, remember I hit it way far, but we should have stolen that base before I hit."
Like he's reminding them of their mistakes. That's nice.
Yes.
Leadership 5.
Toxic environment that the coaches are not okay with.
Oh man, I could see how, like, every once in a while, Jose Rosado, who's like real tall, he just kind of stands up and he has to bend his head down a little bit because he's near the window and in that kind of curved part of the bus. And he's like, "Bird, sit down, man. Just sit down. Just sit down. Gonna wear your legs out." Come up with different reasons why you should sit down. And then JJ, where are you seated on the bus? What do we see you doing?
In the back of the bus, and kind of trying to get everybody psyched up. I'm imagining, and let me know if this contravenes anything you were thinking, that we haven't been in the playoffs before.
I don't think that you guys, like, this team hasn't been in the playoffs. I don't think the Goblins have been in. Oh, yes, I will agree. That sounds amazing to me. I really like that idea. Let's say that you guys have been in the Midwest Division for about 6-7 years, and you've never competed for the Midwest Division Cup. You've always been in the bottom 4, and only the top 8 make it to the Cup.
So kind of just trying to get the guys excited, and oh, we're playing the Dog Boys. They got a reputation, but I'm like, yeah, people in Rifttown, they don't even care about the Dog Boys. And I got a bet going that you're not going to see one single jersey or hat on our way to the stadium until we get to the tailgate parking lot. And so everybody in the back there where I'm holding court is looking out the window, like trying to earn the money and spot a single jersey. And meanwhile, I'm trying to distract people if I notice it ahead of time so they're not looking in the right direction.
So I'm going to ask that David Williams, does JJ lose that bet? Do they see any Dog Boys colors and paraphernalia before reaching the parking lot?
Wait, dog? Are we playing the right? You know what? There actually is like just one, and it's this like a tailgate party, and it's a huge one. There's like 3 trucks and 2 big barbecues. They got one of those giant barbecues with, they like cut the barrel, the 55-gallon barrel in half. Oh, yeah. And they got all the barbecued meat on it, and they got the music playing, and they've all got on their Dog Boys jerseys and hats, and yeah, they're so excited. But there's no others. So that party is just totally ruined for JJ.
Giant party.
Giant party. I love it. It's like a block party that just happens just a block before the stadium. It's the JJ.
My stomach just drops.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. This is not going to be a fun place to play, is it? Okay. I just silently give my money out, and as my face kind of drops, and like, that's probably more worrying to the other people. Like, oh, he's not laughing and talking shit. That's not a good sign.
And the thing is, right, the Dog Boys before, this must be Fairweather fans, because you guys have played the Dog Boys earlier in the season, and the Riften didn't really come out like it seems like they're getting ready for this. Evidently, the Cup, all the Fairweather fans turn out for that. So as you guys, they open the chain link fence, right? And you pull in the gate in the back end underneath the stands, and you've got your area to head into the changing room. And as you're passing by, you see the people are all queued up in line. You can hear this music playing through the loudspeakers. There's a girl who's got like this big balloon of a glitter boy. It's like a person with like giant guns, like big, humongous guns. The glitter boy is one of the mascots of the Riften Dog Boys. And you guys head in, you come into the changing room, and you guys are putting on the green and blue of the Gauntlet Goblins roster. The Riften Dog Boys wear this kind of a tan and like a burgundy. It's not very attractive. It's like muddy colors. Those colors don't run is something that the Riften Dog Boys say. And before long, you guys are outside. You're out on the field doing warm-ups. You're in your cleats and tossing the ball back and forth. And people are starting to just fill up the stadium, the berm. There are a bunch of folks who are laying down picnic blankets and the like. You smell the popcorn and the Cracker Jacks and the peanuts in the air. Lots of beer flowing, and then you can see that your buddy Joey, who's the Gauntlet Goblin mascot, he's out there doing a little bit of his business going on, and you guys warm up. Half an hour later, it's time for the Star Spangled, and you guys stand along the lines. You get to hear a local 4-person quartet, like a barbershop quartet, sings the national anthem. And there's a lot of pride going on there. People all standing at attention, hats off. And it's a crisp breeze that comes across. Riften's a little colder than it is up in Gauntlet City in August. So this is going to be a colder night. And as you guys come in, you guys are visitors, so you get to bat first. And And Eric Duncan's telling everybody, make sure you stay warm and loose, guys. You don't want to tighten up here. It's a little cold. So here's what we're going to do. This is the part of the diamond crawl. Very excited, guys. Diamond crawl. I'm excited. So in the diamond crawl, the way that we do this is we're going to be using the diamond crawl chart, which I have put in the game time area for reference, but it's also in the main book. And so for the way that diamond works out is that just because, let's be honest, usually the most exciting stuff happens around, past the 6th inning. The first 6 innings are, can you winnow down the starting pitcher? Can you guys get out to an early lead, or do they? But it really starts to nail in the second third of a particular game. So that's what we're going to try to do. So what we do is one of the 3 of you will be the person who rolls in the first diamond, and that is going to cover the first 3 innings. There is no, at this current build, there's no way to affect the die roll. You just roll a d20. And then we consult our little diamond crawl chart. Who would like to step up and be the first roller of the diamond crawl in the very first playtest the diamond crawl ever?
Wow! So this is a big honor. I'd be thrilled if I could throw the first diamond crawl pitch.
All right.
Is this a ceremonial pitch, or is this for real?
No. Like first pitch. This is going to cover the first 3 innings of play, and it's
roll the die once, just like halfway out from the mound.
All right. Here we go. D20. Drum roll, and
oh, nice.
A 2.
A 2. Okay. All right. All right. So with a 2, take a look at the chart. The opponent takes a 3-run lead. So your starting pitcher is Albert Abreu. Albert is average height, but he's got a lot of nasty stuff. He has this sinker that really drops off the map, and you don't know if it's the cold or what. But in the first frame, you get a couple hits, but you don't capitalize on it. And in the bottom of the first, the Rift and Dog Boys, especially Josh Scraper Naylor, he hits a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, you guys 3 up, 3 down. And then the bottom of the second, it is Kyle Glitterboy, which is why he has to solo shot himself. And then finally, Albert calms down, and you guys are still shut out from score, but you get another hit. So you've had 3 hits, and there have been a total of 5 hits at the end of 3 innings. And the score at the end of 3 innings is 3 to the Rift and Dog Boys and 0 for our Gauntlet City Goblins. Here we at the end of 3. 3 for the Dog Boys, and goose eggs across the board for our Gauntlet City Goblins. But hey, we've still got 6 innings to play, unless we're behind at the bottom of the 9th. All right, so that is the first diamond crawl. Good job, Walter. You guys have an uphill battle. I'm very excited. Who would like to roll the next diamond, which will cover innings 4 through 6?
Not Walter.
He's got his bad rolls out of his system.
Yeah. I will do 4 and 5. All right, here we go.
Oh, it's going to cover 4 through 6, actually.
13. Oh, sorry. 13.
All right. So with a 13, it's pretty good. The opponent pitcher is knocked out of the game. So you can tell me, is this a thing where you guys you build up a rally and you load the bases, or is it a thing where he physically gets hurt, like his arm gets tired, or it gets nailed by a comebacker? How do you think that you've taken out their pitcher, and what the benefit for that for you guys? It means that come around the bend, you're going to have a new pitcher, which they are going to have less durability. They're probably less effective, that kind of thing. But so how does the pitcher Elliot Sonic Boom Ashbeck. How is Sonic Boom taken out?
I think the comebacker. I think that's a great.
Nice.
There's a nice solid hit. It's not Douglas Bird though. Maybe David or JJ.
You want to give it to? Up to you.
So let's give it to David Williams. David Williams,
nice.
It gets up there, it gets a real solid hit right down the center, but it's a little low, and actually gets Sonic Boom right in the shin, and takes him down. It definitely goes on a nightly news or something. He gets a face full of sand, and they have to pull him back out.
Cool. So it turns out that Elliot Sonic Boom does not last past the 5th inning, and Jason Jester is the pitcher who's brought in to replace him, and Jester is nowhere near the ace that Sonic Boom is, because Sonic Boom was taken out so early. It seems like the manager, K. Suam Simbita, wants to try to play things, play it easy and safe, and save his best pitchers for the last frame here. So he's brought in a bit of a mop-up pitcher in Jason Jester, and that is where we are at. You guys, no scores happen in those 3 innings, so it is still at the end of 6. We have Jason Jester on the mound for the Dog Boys. He was able to close out the top of the 6th. They didn't score. The Dog Boys were unable to score at the bottom of the 6th innings. We come in to the 7th inning. Our Gauntlet City Goblins still with no score on the board, but they have held the Dog Boys as Albert Abreu finally calmed down. And here we are at the top of the 7th. Now, I have a question for JJ. JJ, would you like to simulate? Now we're in the 3rd diamond crawl. Now we have an option. It is no longer mandatory that you roll in the D20 chart. You can, if you wish, say, I'd like to play through this inning, which means that we'll play through the batter's side for the Gauntlet City Goblins on the top of the 7th inning. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going to roll for the inning, and you roll the D20 on the diamond crawl. What would you like to do, JJ?
Oh, let's play through it.
All right, cool. So I am going to ask you to just roll me a D10, and that will tell us where our batting position is.
I don't have any of those. 1.
You are up to bat, JJ. It is the top of the 7th, and is standing room only at the Riften Dog Boys Stadium, and they're up by 3. And so while Jason Jester, who's kind of a mop-up, like middle reliever, he's already starting to get a little bit tired. His challenge rating is only a 2. You are up to bat. You don't have anybody, no outs, nobody on base. You're the first man up. So now we're going to walk through how we handle batting in this game. And we're doing it with the experience of Keith Stetson. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's perfect timing. Thank you for rolling that 1. So you got a couple of choices when you come up to bat. And I'm mostly explaining it for them because, Keith, I know you know what you're doing. So if you want to hit it where they ain't, then you're primarily concerned with just getting a hit to get on base. And so you would roll hitting. Now, in this game, whenever you test a stat, you're going to roll a D20 and try to roll under that stat. The second choice is that you could try to swing for the fences, which means that you roll hitting, but you're going to roll it with disadvantage, which means you roll 2 D20 and you take the highest of those 2 20s to compare against your stat. However, for doing that with disadvantage, you can step up your effect die, which you roll on a separate table, and you can step that up by 1 type. which means that it's a higher chance of getting a better hit. And then the third is that if you want to bunt, try to get infield hit or walk, you can, or actually infield hit or a bunt, you can roll with speed with disadvantage. And that means you're putting it in play and trying to leg it out. So what would you like to do?
I'm leading off. There's nobody out. We need base runners. I'm going to drop down a bunt down that third base line, try to get to hug the chalk, and hopefully get myself a bunt base hit.
Oh my, it got me really excited the way you described that. I think.
To get that real tight close up where it's rolling, and the third baseman's like, "It's got to go foul. It's got to go." Ah, dang it!
And then there was one thing I said I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of. So the team usage die is a D6 for you. The usage die is a OSR thing that I think is pretty brilliant. If you roll a 1 on the usage die, then it will step down a die, right? And so that's terrible. But you can, at any point, you can swap in that usage die for your effect die. So if you have to have a lower than D6, you can do that. It means you're risking making the ability for NPCs to get hits a little worse, but it means you possibly could be a little better off. But you're just trying to get on base, which means all you have to do is roll 2d20, and the challenge rating is a 2. You're at second level. So it's just a flat get underneath. You got to roll both of those underneath your speed, which is a 17.
Yeah,
so,
tell them what the speed is. That's right.
17 speed. Chances are good of you. So is this you punt? You cracking right down, hugging the chalk, right? That's the plan there.
And I think just because I do like living rent free inside the pitcher's head, I'm not doing it right away. Like a lot of the fast guys come up there and they're looking to bunt right on the first pitch, and it's obvious. I pretend like I'm going to swing, maybe even mess up a little bit, take a strike. Like, oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, and then we're going to drop it down.
Nice. And that's, of course, after Here I Go Again comes on.
Yeah,
the loudspeakers, right? And
I told them I was going to go again, and they.
Yeah, we all think about Tawny Katane for just a moment, and then you come up and
another psychological edge.
It's right.
All right, let's see. Double 12s.
Double 12s. So yeah, that ball just rides along the edge. The third baseman, he tries to charge the ball, and Hudson mega damage pots the third baseman for the Riften Dog Boys, is unable to throw you out. You get 2 steps past the bag before his weenie arm gets it to first base, and unfortunately Kyle Glitterboy is not able to get you out, and you are standing on first. And that is when Alexander Palma, the right fielder, comes up. Alexander Palma, I think that he has his walk-up song is
he's not batting out of order, is he? Because I think Hoy Jun Park.
I am batting out of order. Thank you, Keith. So it's Hoy Jun Park.
Who are you, the Mets?
I know. Good Lord, I'm terrible. Hoy Jun Park comes up to bat, and I think the Hoy Jun Park's song is like getting jiggy with it. And he's a tiny little guy. He actually often they make jokes that he comes up to walk, but he does have a little bit of pop in his bat. He's a left-hander. Oh, I actually should probably adjust his height based off what I just said. So he is about 5'5", and there we go. Hoy Jun Park comes up that after getting jiggy with it, and now we get to use the other aspect of the 3.0 playtest rules, which is the usage die. So, like I said before, the team usage die is a D6, and that will cover anything that NPCs are doing when they're up to bat. So, who would like to roll the team usage die to see how Hoy Jun Park does?
I'll give it a roll.
All right. It's cool. So you just roll a D6 because that's what your current usage die rating is.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry, everyone. That's a 2. That's
okay. That is terrible.
The die remains the same size. That's what I've.
It's not as bad as a 1.
Yes.
So on a 2 to 4, it's an out, but the die size remains the same, which means you don't lose out. Now, I'll describe how that goes, because we have a person on first, right? So let's see how this happens. Hoy, he comes up to bat, and he drills a ball right towards the shortstop. Stop, actually not right towards him. It is Rudy Guerin. Rudy has to move to his right, and he is going to try to throw over his shoulder to get you out at second, JJ. So I need you to try to leg it out. He's going to try to turn a double play here. So you could try to break up this double play if you want, or you can just try to be safe.
Well, it would be nice to have a runner on second. Yeah, I mean, let's go for it.
All right, cool. So I'm going to have you leg it out. But if you want to try, if you say you want to try to break up the double play, which means that maybe go in cleats high, or you mess up the second baseman when he grabs the ball and tries to throw it to first, then you can roll with disadvantage. And if so, then Hoy will be on first, and that out that you guys rolled, you'd be taken off the board because you did something extraordinary. Or you can just roll with advantage. You can just roll regular, get underneath your speed, and then you'll be on second base with one out.
Seventh inning, I think just regular.
Okay, go for it. Roll a d20, and you just need to get underneath the 17.
Yep, got a 10. All right.
All right, cool. So second baseman grabs it. You've already slid into the base. It was a force, but you were way too fast. Matthew Spluggerth pitches it across, or throws it across from second base to first, and Glitter Boy catches it, and Hoy is out. That is one out. You now have a man on second when, hold on a second, I gotta see what song comes on. The guitar solo from Freebird comes on, echoing throughout the stadium. You're a groaner. KGOB Jane Forrester says, here he is. He's first on the bases, and first in our hearts. Douglas, Little Bird, one out. We've got Speedy JJ on second. So if Douglas could just get a gapper, anything, I know JJ can score on a double, a single, really. JJ is so fast, and if Douglas could just make it happen. And so, Doug Bird, what would you like to do? You've got those three choices. Do you want to try to just hit it where they ain't, which means you're just getting up, trying to get a hit? Do you want to try to swing for the fences, try to get an extra base hit, or do you want to just bunt, try to get an infield hit, and roll with your speed? What would you like to do?
I think that Eric Duncan has told me just to hit it where they ain't.
So let me point. I just offered those options, but let me point out a thing. As a first baseman, when your team is behind after the sixth inning, you don't roll with disadvantage when swinging for the fences. So if
that's
you
what I'm going to do. Eric has told me not to, but I'm not listening to Eric right now.
Like, just give you he gives you a few hand signals there, and then he's just like, see the ball, hit the ball, but you're going to swing for the fences because you don't listen to anybody.
Don't listen to anybody.
This is great.
I make some ugly faces at some of the Glitter Boy fans. They've got their dog heads on.
They do.
They're not wearing any shirts, even though it's a little bit chilly night, because
they're crazy. I don't understand that. And we've got the row that's right down the third base line where they've just riffed in. There's an R, there's an I, there's a T. The O is the fattest of all of them. And then the N's is a real skinny dude. And so you're level 1. Challenge rating is a 2. So you are rolling with, you don't have to roll with disadvantage. You're just rolling a D20 here. And your hitting is a 16. So you got to get under a 15 because of that challenge rating to your level difference.
Let's give it a shot.
All right. What's your color?
10. I am
orange. Beauty. All right. So that is fantastic. Now, as a first baseman, your effect die is how you're going to roll on the table to see what kind of hit you got. Kind of think of it as like rolling to hit and rolling damage, right? But you get to step up that effect die to a D12. So that's terrifying because an 8 or more on this is a home run.
Oh no, it's a 3.
A 3. Okay, so with a 3, you get a single. You kind of go for the launch angle. I'm imagining sounded like you were hit swing. Go for a bit of a launch angle, and I'll give you the choice. Is this a thing where you thought it was gone, and you end up kind of doing that half trot walk, like home run trot walk, before it actually lands, like warning track power, but didn't actually go out? Or is it a thing where it just happened to go to a guy who cut off the ball and is able to get it back to the second baseman before you can cross for a double?
Yeah, I think it flies high, and I think I've got it. And then it bounces right off the wall, and it's like, oh! And an outfielder grabs it and quickly shuffling to get me on. I'm about to go to second, and I quickly have to run back to first.
Awesome. And so that is a high fly ball. Could be an out. Do you tag up, or are you... I think Eric's telling you to tag up, JJ. You can easily get to third. If you want to leg it out, though, you could try to scamper home. What do you want to do?
We've got 1 out right now.
You've got 1 out right now.
Nah, I'm okay on third.
All right, cool. So,
who's up next? Alexander.
It's the guy that I said was up earlier.
He's full of this lineup. With 1 out, I could still get home on a sac fly, so I'll hang out here. No need to force the issue.
All right, cool. So you scamper down to third. We've got a man on first and third. It is still the top of the 7th, and Alexander Palma comes up to bat, and we hear Alexander Palma, like Robert Palmer and Addicted to Love, comes on. It's just the bow out. And he comes out, and Alexander is a right-hander, righty. So he comes up and he taps a little bit of dirt off of his cleats and then steps into the box. And with 1 out, Eric Duncan is looking at you, Douglas, and he's giving you the sign to steal. And he kind of whispers to you. He's in third base. He's a third base coach right now. He whispers to you, JJ, keep an eye peeled if you get an opportunity, okay? And he's telling you to steal on the next pitch, Douglas Bird. You following orders?
Yeah, I think that makes sense at this point.
All right. Sweet. So stealing a base. So ball players on base during someone else's at bat, they can elect to steal a base, second, third, or home. The GM will set a rating for the challenge. I am going to say that it would be higher normally, but they are a bit worried about Speedy JJ being on. There's this possibility that they may not even contest it. So your challenge rating is just a 2. So you need to roll speed, subtract 1 from your speed, and roll below that. Your speed's 15, so you need to roll a lower than a 14 in order to steal second. If so, you get
any. Oh, I roll with disadvantage when testing speed.
Oh well, I guess you do. So please roll 2d20.
It wasn't such a smart idea. Here we go.
Oh,
20.
A 20. Oh my goodness. So here's what happens. Not only are you going to fail, but that's a critical fumble, which means you're going to need to roll your effect die. You come in and your leg, your ankle gets kind of twisted up. So you come in, you lay down that really good slide, and when your foot hits the bag, twist your ankle a little bit. And not only are you tagged out, you're hurt. So go ahead and roll that D10.
That's a 10.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is amazing. I've never had somebody take themselves out. You've sprained your ankle. You have sprained your ankle, Douglas Bird.
So hold on. I can't blame someone else for the failure, right? Because that's related, because I wanted to blame the coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is his fault, actually, for telling you to go. Eric
Right.
Duncan's fault for being overly aggressive. Yeah, if you'd rolled the team usage die, which is lower than your D10 effect die, then that would give you that opportunity. I'm willing to, because this is a new rule, and I also want to see how it works, and I want to see you blame somebody. This sounds amusing to me, and there's still a risk of you taking yourself out.
Right.
If you want to use the team usage die for your injury, you may.
Okay, I will do that.
So the team usage die, at any point, you can swap that out for an effect die if you so choose. And because it's a lower die type, it's a really good idea.
But I run the risk of course, decreasing our team.
Decreasing, and everybody's going for a D4.
All right, here we go. That's a 6. So I still take myself out.
Still hurt, but
I can re-roll it.
Yep. So you're like, what? So you're still out. Yeah. This is just re-rolling the possibility of an injury.
That's a 6 again. Okay. So just a bad night of baseball for Little Bird.
Okay, so I have to know
in a second. I twist my ankle, scream out in pain, throw my hat down, start shouting at the coach, and the dog boys are at first a little bit frightened because I may have started a brawl or two in the past.
Nice.
I think that's what's about to happen until they realize I'm screaming at my own team. And I pick up my hat and I'm limping off. They
didn't come out with a cart. Okay, that's good. I was curious at the cart.
Yeah, I'm limping off the cart, but there's like a shot from on the local news of me with an ice bag in the dugout, just screaming and cursing, and in management's face.
You're so Paul O'Neill. It hurts. I love it. Okay, that's great. Sweet. So yeah, we will give you something else to do for the remainder of this game. Maybe you should roll up Alexander Palma. If you want to roll him up and step into that role, you may, because Alexander Palma now is going to be rolling. So let's go ahead and have Keith, you want to roll the usage die for Alexander Palma here?
Well, I think if the third base coach was saying, take a look here, you might have a chance to get home.
Oh, do you think he stole? You think he tried to steal it?
I mean, if they're making the throw to second, they got to throw it down to second and then back home before I get there. So,
all right,
yeah, challenge. I'm going for it.
The 3. So you're level 2, which means you subtract 1 from your speed. You got to roll lower than a 16 to steal home.
All right, this would be the worst play. If we get
a double play
and an injury, possibly 2 injuries, depending on the roll. Let's see what happens. No, we're good. It was a 12. We're fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, with the tantrum, sorry, but it's true. With the tantrum the Bird throws, there's a bit of a mix up at second, and you scamper home, JJ. And the ball comes. You don't even have to slide unless you choose to slide. You're good. You make it. Oh, also, nobody's rolled it yet, but just so you have it in your mind, there is also a new rule that if you roll 10 or more under your target, then you get a highlight play. And the highlight play, you get to narrate what it is that you've done that inspires people. But there's another advantage. Just a second. Then it increases the usage die by 1 step up. So that D6 would become a D8. Cool. All right. So now Alexander Palma comes up to bat. And Alexander does not need to worry about scoring JJ. There are 2 outs. And we will roll the usage die for Alexander Palma with a clean base here. So who would like to roll that?
Greg, do you want to be our NPC roller while you're on the bench?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
All right, here we go. That's a 2.
All right, maybe no more dice for you.
He didn't injure himself. That's just
he's doing better.
He's not hurt, guys. It's good. Cool. All right. So 2, Alexander long fly out. It's one of those where the crowd's like, oh, then it turns out it's warning track power, but not a hit. And that will end the top of the 7th. And the Riften Dog Boys.
Hey, we got to run there, mister. No goose egg for us.
Oh, you're right. What am I doing?
You're on the Riften payroll.
What? Oh, no. What? Okay. Maybe a little bit. They're very litigious. That's all I'm saying. All right. So we will roll on the diamond crawl chart. And I just realized the diamond crawl chart isn't good for the bottom half of an inning. So I may have to come up with a new bottom half of the inning diamond crawl chart, but we're going to go ahead and roll it anyway. Greg, you get to roll a D20.
This will be interesting if we take a lead and it's not.
I know. It's right. I'm not sure how this is going to go. We're going to do it.
No scoring. Player team shut down.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we'll just go. We'll stick with no scoring for the Riften Dog Boys. And so we come to the top of the 8th. Do you guys want to do another diamond crawl roll, or do you want David Williams to come up to bat? What I want.
Yeah, David Williams is feeling hot tonight. This is good. It's he does really well with getting RBI. So it's too bad he's leading off, but you know he'll make do.
Get Rhythm When You Get the Blues by Johnny Cash plays over the loudspeakers as David Williams comes up to bat. His clean inning, no outs, nobody on base, and so they have Jason Jester's no longer pitching, and so now it is Chris Huffman is our pitcher of record. Chris Huffman is pretty good little pitcher. His challenge rating is a 3. Chris Huffman is a tricky pitcher. He throws a lot of curves and slurves and sliders. Nothing that he throws is straight. It is always coming and hitting corners and angles. So when you are rolling to get a hit against him, because you're first level, David, you will be rolling 2 lowers. You'll subtract 2 from your stat. Do you want to try to get a hit, swing for the fences, or just get on base? Like get on base using your speed. Sorry, not clear.
Yeah. Well, speed's not my thing, so that's not a good way to go. I feel like swinging for the fences. Is nice. I'm looking at my buddy Eric Duncan. Make sure he doesn't give me conflicting. But if he's like you got this, I'm gonna swing for the fences. I'm feeling good.
Okay. Well, Eric was he's the guy who wants you in 5th position, and Mike doesn't believe in you, so or he probably believes in you to a degree, but you're starting. Let's see if you can do it. Swing for the fences. It seems like you're
all right. So I have to do. I roll with disadvantage then, right?
Yep. So you're gonna roll.
And so I got to beat a 10.
Yep. With both dice.
12 minus 2. I got to roll. Wait. Well, I got to roll under a 10 then.
Right. Correct.
Because I have
your hitting's a 12, so you got to roll under a 10 with both
dice. All right. Let's do this. Oh, no. I got a 16 and a 6. So
okay, 16 and a 6. Not a critical failure. Swing for the fences. Turns out that the ball slices like it was just you swung. You thought it was going to be a little bit more over. It's a couple pitches. You thought he was kind of cheating in. Then you had one you could hit right in the wood of the bat. You end up hitting with the tip of the bat. Since it is a hard liner, but it's right at the first baseman. Glitter Boy grabs it, and that is the first out of the inning. It was a hard hit shot, just happened to be right at somebody. And then Terrence Robertson comes up to bat. Greg, you are now playing Brick DeVore, I see.
Yeah, I'll be playing Brick.
That is wonderful.
I just rolled straight for the stats.
Okay, sounds good. So who would like to roll usage die for Terrence Robertson?
I'll give that a shot then.
All right, go for it.
That's the D6 still?
It is still a D6.
All right. He's out. That's a 2.
2. All right, cool. So say it's a hot shot to the third baseman, and unfortunately it is caught by mega damage, and even with his weak arm he's able to get it across to Glitter Boy before Robertson crosses the bag, and that is 2 outs for you, Brick DeVore. And I cannot remember. So Brick was once played by an actual, I just kept the name because it amuses me, and I don't remember what his walk-up song is, but we're going to call it Tub Thumper. But you have a different song you'd like.
Oh, no. Tub Thumper's great.
Okay, cool. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And it is the top of the 8th. You guys are down by 2. Brick DeVore comes up to bat, and
no one's on base?
No one is on base. 2 outs. What would you like to do? Your hitting is not great, Brick DeVore.
No, it is not. I do have the catcher's ability to lay a perfect bunt, but only to move a base runner. So we have Oh, and there's 2 outs, so that wouldn't. Yeah. I guess I'll hit where they ain't. I'll just give it.
Go for it. All right, go ahead and roll a d20. Trying to roll under.
So sorry, with the bunt, it's roll speed. It's
yes,
straight test,
but you roll
speed?
with disadvantage when you
speed.
roll speed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll hit where they ain't.
Okay. Don't forget that there is a difference in the challenge rating. It's challenge rating 3, so you're 2 below. You got to roll below a 5. I'm sorry, but you do.
Sorry, I'm looking at the other catcher abilities real quick.
Yeah. No. Dude, you should totally do that. It's fielding. You're really good at helping people. Oh, by the way, let me remind you guys. Your teamwork pool, not remind you, but like inform you, your teamwork pool is a thing that you can use at any time to help out another player character. All you got to do is describe how you're encouraging them, giving them advice, putting on your rally cap, shouting their name, and then you spend that teamwork pool. You will be able to allow them to roll with advantage. And that means that you roll a whole new d20, or if they would be rolling with disadvantage, you can cancel that out and they just roll with 1 regular d20. At a table is kind of fun to let the other player roll that d20 so you can see which one it was that actually helped, that kind of thing. And then 2 people rolling dice is always fun, but on this table it's a little weird when 2 people roll at once. So
anyone want to help out Brick?
And we get is the team die, we get that once each per game, is that it?
So there's the team usage die and then teamwork pool. So the teamwork pool is you start with 1. It can go higher than 1. You regain that teamwork pool or increase it by bonding with your team, talking up your teammate to the media or to the public or also to management.
Is that shared?
No, each of you have your own teamwork pool die, and that's a great question. This is individual to the person. I will say rolling a 5 or under on a d20 isn't a great chance, and you just have the 1. So unless you can come up with a way to rebuild your teamwork during the game, you may want to save it, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, I was just looking at.
We've got 2 outs this inning.
Not a lot of people to drive Brick in, even if he gets on base.
Fair enough. All right, I will roll this. See if Brick gets lucky. Oh, that's a 10. Nope.
All right, cool. So we will just call that Brick. He takes a number of pitches and then ends up going down on strikes. He strikes out. There was a slurve that just bent a different way than he anticipated, and that will end the top of the 8th. And so we get down to the bottom of the 8th, And I am going to, because I know this table isn't awesome, I'm just going to hand a defensive opportunity just because I want to see some defense in this game. And so I'm going to fast forward to, let's see, I'm going to say that Taylor Cowley, which is the right fielder for the Dog Boys, is currently on first base, and Matthew Spluggerth is at bat. And there is he knocks a long fly ball that is headed right towards the wall. I'm not sure if it's going to go over, but it's definitely going to threaten to allow Cowley to score if you can't catch it or if you can't throw it back quick enough. And so this is an opportunity for JJ for the possibility of a defensive opportunity here, JJ. So,
all right.
Crack of the bat. Cowley is already running. He's going to get up near second base. Thinks he can get back to first if you catch it. And it's a long fly ball. You're going to have to move. What do you want to do?
How many outs are there right now?
There is one out.
Okay. So let me see. I think as the outfielder, I could roll with advantage for speed, but I have to check for injury. Or I could just generally go fielding wise.
Yes.
My fielding's not that good. So let's risk injury. Why not? See how many people
and don't forget,
on the team.
As an outfielder, you currently, like in the current rule set, you roll disadvantage when testing fielding. So it's like a double whammy against you.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'll do the speed.
All right. Do you want to roll with advantage or just, all right, do it. Sweet. So you're rolling 2d20 and you are looking to get underneath your speed of 17. You're pretty good with that. So chances are good here.
Yeah, I run around all over the place out there. And yet I didn't. Oh, wait, no, with advantage. Yes.
With advantage. So
disadvantage, I wouldn't have. But all right.
Disadvantage in host, but with advantage, you're A-okay. All right, so go ahead and roll your effect die of that D6.
4.
Interestingly enough, I just realized if your team usage die ever degrades down to D4, you can start swapping that out for your injury die. So your team doesn't do great, but you don't get hurt a whole lot. I haven't even thought of that possibility until just this moment. You take 4 hit points of damage. What does this look like? You think it's a thing where you crash into the fence? Is it maybe there's a slight rise in the dirt? Is this going up the fence? Maybe a twist of an ankle there? What do you think?
Is it one of those horrible stadiums? Like, what is it? The Astros that does have the mound in center field going up. That's so terrible. Yeah, that's what it is. Just because I personally dislike those.
Yeah, I do too. So
why did you do that? Or
the Riften Dog Boys. Yeah, why would you do it to hurt people?
Yeah, actually, you know what? It probably does twist a lot of ankles. So I think what happens is it's the last step. And so actually, as it's pretty impressive because as I'm going down, I managed to catch it. But I fall down in a heap and I just kind of throw a little dribbler into the infield from my knees. And since he was already halfway between, he can't tag up, but
nice. Yeah, so he ends up he heads back to first, but he's not able to go back to first and then get all the way back to second. So you hold off the runner, and that will be our defensive opportunity for the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th inning. Would you guys like to roll the Diamond Crawl D20 to resolve this game, or would you like to play through this?
Reminds me of Pressure of Luck when you say it that way. I think we got to play through the 9th, right?
We're at the bottom of our lineup.
Yeah, it's not great. Ghost K is going to be your first batter. Albert will be taken out. You will have a pinch hitter there. So that will be to your advantage. But you're still rolling with the same team usage die, sorry. So cool. All right, let's roll for Gosuke. Who would like to roll the team usage die to see if Gosuke gets on base?
I'll give it a try. I haven't
all right.
rolled the team usage die yet.
D6.
Okay.
Now I have no. I can so when giving directions to a teammate, you can step up the team usage die type for your role. Can I do
Which
that?
means if you step in and you roll, do you want to roll for the if you want to roll for the pinch hitter? Let's go ahead and let Walter roll for Ghosuke right now.
Okay, I rolled a 2.
Okay, so with a 2 on the team usage die, that is an out, but the die size remains the same. So what I imagine happening is Ghosuke comes up and he hits a little dribbler, but in his desire to try to create some kind of momentum to get a big mo for you guys, he tries to stretch it out to a double. And unfortunately, he is gunned down by Taylor Cowley, the right fielder, who was able to pick it up and throws it a one-hopper in to the second baseman, Matthew Spluggerth. And Matthew tags Ghosuke out. And unfortunately, he is the first out of the inning. Now, as I'd said before, you guys get the opportunity for a pinch hitter. And I'm going to say that it is Devin Orville, who is normally a second baseman. But he is your pinch hitter for the bottom of the ninth. Now, this is the thing where if Brick wants to give him some instruction in some way, what is it that the Brick does? How do you see Brick?
Brick earns his name by just his build. He is a big, blocky man. He's a catcher, so he's just kind of and he grabs Devin. And is Devin young? Like,
Devin is now young. He is so young. He's like 18.
And Devin is just sort of, Brick is older. He's just kind of accepted the minor leagues are going to be his thing. He's like, Devin, don't push it. Get on base. We keep going. We build momentum. The game's not over. So I'm having him cool his head before he gets out there and tries to do something crazy.
Awesome. So now you're rolling, and you've stepped up the die from a D6 to a D8.
All right. Hopefully that will make a difference.
Keep in mind, if you roll a 1 on the D8, it still does decrease the die type size, so it would go down to a D4.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. That's a 6.
Wow, that is pretty fantastic. So with a 6 on the team usage die, Devin Orville gets a double. So I'm imagining that it's a gapper, right? So he hits a nice little frozen rope right over the shortstop's head, and it bounces between the left fielder and the center fielder, and they both take off for it. The center fielder is the guy who grabs it, Michael Wormwood, and he tosses it back, but Devin takes second standing up. And so we have 1 out, 1 man on second base when we hear Whitesnake, here I go again on my own. And you're up to bat. You've got a man in scoring position, JJ. Chris Huffman is still pitching. Remember, he's the guy that throws a lot of trick pitches. And before you even get the opportunity, like before you declare what you're going to do, I'm just telling you, the very first pitch is a ball because he throws at your head. You're pretty darn sure he was trying to take your head off there. He warns you off. He wants that plate. He wants you off. He thinks you're too inside. And
who's their catcher?
Their catcher is Webster Rivas.
I turn back to Rivas and I say, was that supposed to be his fastball? I can't tell.
Come on, man. Don't hurt the guy's feelings. You know.
Do you ever just put down 1 finger for him, or is it always multiples?
It's always multiples, but they're pretty good at this. Don't worry. No, you'll be fine, JJ. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm sure that wouldn't have hurt that bad. Come on, man. Evidently, Webby and JJ, they evidently have some kind of rapport. This is great.
I'm just gonna go put my helmet back in the dugout. I don't really.
Oh man, that's it. And he pretends he's putting a finger down.
Picture the stifling a chuckle, like, get back in the box, son.
Oh, so good. Then Here I Go Again comes on again because you step back into the box. Cool. So do you want to hit it where they ain't? Would you like to swing for the fences or just try to get on base here?
I definitely don't want to swing for the fences. I feel like that is a bad idea. But yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna hit it where they ain't on this one.
Right. Cool.
We need a bit of a rally, not just chipping away. We're down by 2,
So the pitcher again is a challenge rating of 3. You're second level, so it's 1 detriment to your stats. You're hitting where it ain't, so your hitting is a 10. So you need to roll under a 9.
Really got to learn how to hit better.
If only somebody can encourage you, that could possibly help.
He's talking to you guys.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. All right. That sounds like my chance. Yeah. So David's like, come on, JJ, you got this. This is just like earlier this season. You remember we were in the same position, and you started the rally. You can do it again. You're hot tonight. Rally time.
Nice. I imagine you're kind of up on the lip of the dugout there, calling out a bit of encouragement. And right beside you, Alexander Palma has just like a mouthful of sunflower seeds. And he's doing that really gross, like spitting all the shells out thing. And he's classes and yeah, man, come on. And he spits out some more sunflower seeds. And you get to roll another D20 then. You're rolling with advantage. So go ahead and reduce your teamwork pool for David. To a 0.
This gives me a fighting chance, though, with the encouragement. Oh, wow. 2 and a 3.
Holy crap. You didn't even need to be scared. That's amazing.
Super encouraged.
That is super encouragement. Now, good luck. Roll your D6 effect die. Gosh, don't roll a 1.
Is that what did you need? Is that the 10 minus highlight, or do
no? It's not. He actually needed lower than a 9. So
I would need negative numbers to get the highlight.
Is no piece possible. Roll that D6. Do not roll a 1.
You jinxed me.
Oh, geez. All right. So here's what happens. You get a hit. I'm going to go ahead and say JJ gets on base, but Devin tries to score. Like is a weak infield single, and he's just going for it. Eric's like, no, stop. He's at their base, and even he's running like, no. And little Devin scampers around, and it's one of those where it's like 4 steps, and the catcher Webby, he already has the ball. And he just gets ready, and Devin's like, I'll knock him over. And he runs, bam, right into Webster. And he goes down. Webby does not, because little Devin Orville is not that big of a guy. And he is an out, and there is laughter. And there's laughter by the evil Riften fans. And there's a lot of jokes about mega damage. And then the Glitter Boy and other stuff. And then Devin heads back to the dugout. He's not injured, but he's a little embarrassed. But you are on first, JJ, with 2 outs. And that is when Hoi-Jung Park comes up to bat. And you are told to steal on the first pitch. The catcher, Webster, seems to know that this might be coming. So your challenge rating is a 4. Because he's called for a pitch out.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea to steal in this situation. We need to talk to our third base coach.
He is crazy. Eric Duncan is crazy.
Like, I have nothing to gain. We need 2 runs. Getting in scoring position is not going to help. You know what? I'm usually a pretty good soldier. I'm not going on this one though.
Ooh, nice. Okay. All right. Cool. So there's a pitch out, and Hoy gets first ball. And they
I go back like this to Webby. I'm like,
Webby just nods like, you're coming. I know, man. No, you're going. And then at that point, Hernandez is like, he waves off Eric, and Eric takes off the steal sign. And
what are you doing?
Yeah,
a fan that wandered out there standing by third base.
And yeah, so Mike is now He's put a foot down. Eric Duncan's taken off the steal sign, and somebody needs to roll the team usage die for Hoyjun Park to see if he can not make the third out in the top of the ninth and lose the game.
Nobody wants to roll.
Nobody wants to roll this die, but remember, it's Hoyjun Park's fault.
I have not been hot tonight. I've been rolling poorly on all of my rolls so far all night long.
Here we go. Hoyjun Park, knock it out of the park with a 4.
Ooh, 4 is not an out. The team usage die, that is an out. Crap, I was looking at the other thing. All right, so the 4 is an out. The die size remains the same. Hoyjun Park, he hits the ball long and high and right to the center fielder, Michael Wormwood. He settles underneath it. You run it out, JJ. You get almost a home plate before the final out is made. The team didn't even need to bring in Mikkel, Man of Magic Baez, their closer, because you guys were blanked in the top of the ninth. You lose 3-1 against the Riften Dog Boys. It is a heartbreaking affair. There were so many times you guys threatened to score. It was so close. You guys all head back to the showers, to your dressing room. You still have to take that 3-hour bus back home because your manager told you that if you guys win, then you can stay in a hotel here, but if you lose, you got to go back.
Oh no.
Switching back to Douglas.
All right.
On the bus ride home, it was Eric who was kept telling people to steal.
Yeah. Before we do that, we got a little bit of post game where we can potentially reduce some teamwork. But yeah, I definitely want to hear him lay into Eric. That's going to be fun for Eric. He's going to hope that maybe David's got his back. So yeah, you guys is pretty down in the dressing room. You guys lost. You're going to head to the losers bracket. Does not look amazing for the Gauntlet City Goblins. You guys can play for third. The other thing is, this is August, right? This is when the end of August, when you guys are being evaluated by pro scouts, possibility of a call up to the majors, your parent club. So doing well here is important. Things didn't go terribly well. And Jane Forrester, KGOB, Ace sports reporter, is out in the hallway. She sent the Bat Boy back to ask to talk to you, JJ.
Yeah, usually happy to talk to her. I will, at least at this point. Yeah. I didn't realize. I was looking at game 1, game 2, and game 3, and I thought this was a best of 3 series. I'm like, oh, we'll get them. But
that would be a no.
I misread that. Okay.
Well, it's game 1, game 2, 3 for the cup. Like the winners, the Riften Dog Boys, going there. You guys will be playing the Deadlands Hucksters in your next game. Cool. So, actually, I am going to change that. I am going to change that. I want you guys to play the Innsmouth Old Ones, Ed, because they amuse me. So, cool. All right. And so the more thing here. All right. Yeah, you guys will be going to the losers bracket. Why did I put Riften Dog Boys there? That would be the Gauntlet City Goblins going to the losers bracket. There we go. That's appropriate. JJ, the Bat Boy, has come back and he says, Mr. Hawk, KGOB, Jane Forrester wants to talk to you. She said if you're okay to talk about the loss.
Just say game, man. Just say game.
The game?
You don't need to be that specific at this point.
I'm sorry.
This particular juncture of time. I'm slowly lacing up my shoes, pulled them very tight, methodically tied them on. I feel like he's the kind of guy that even if he doesn't have a lot of money, he's got very clean sneakers. He's got a clean pair of sneakers on.
That's cool. Are they expensive sneakers or just clean?
No, they're just clean. They're nice, but they're not like, ooh, look at my my fancy. What I don't know. I don't know the terminology. I know there's a whole subculture around it, but yeah, whatever they are, it's not like I'm not going to impress anyone with a label. They just always look nice.
Nice.
Maybe if he makes the bigs, he'll have a bigger collection. But all right, sling the duffel bag over. Presentable, but not putting on a huge effort at this point. Just kind of like don't want to look too crappy, but mostly just want to go through the motions and get out of here.
Cool. Step out. Still, so you're in your nice shoes, not the cleats, so we don't hear the clack of the metal on the concrete there. And Jane's waiting patiently. She's got her little recorder set up. She's in her smart little business suit that she wears, and her hair's pulled back into a ponytail. Thanks for making some time, JJ. Rough night for the Goblins. I'm just as heartbroken as you guys are. It really felt like you were threatening a few times tonight, but just never could get everything. Talk to me a little bit about some of the base running problems that you saw. What was going on there?
Oh man, it's a good thing you're asking me this and not not Little Bird. Different answer. Well, it's like you said, Miss Forrester. We had a lot of opportunities. We ran ourselves into quite a few outs. We had a lot of guys were very enthusiastic, trying to take that extra base. I think the hustle that got us into this tournament backfired there, and we were working really hard to help out Abreu there. He had a rough start. We knew he was going to hold him tight after those first two innings, but we were really pushing to try to get those runs back, and I think we pushed a little bit too hard.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about Ski. Unfortunately, Ski didn't make the trip, and I think the loss of his powers probably felt pretty hard.
I mean, anytime you can't have one of your boys out there, it's going to be harder to play. I feel like everybody stepped up. Davey moved up into that 5 hole. He performed admirably there. You can't fault him for playing as hard as he played there in a spot he hasn't batted all season. But he stepped up in there, and obviously we missed Ski, but everybody pulled their weight today.
Okay. Well, JJ, it's you guys still have the losers bracket. I don't know if you heard back in the dressing room, but you guys are going to be traveling to Innsmouth to play the Innsmouth Old Ones. They lost against the Deadlands Hucksters. So you guys get one day off to rest up, and then you're going to be heading out to Innsmouth.
Yeah, it's a scenic town. Kind of hoping Coach doesn't get us a hotel there, though.
I understand completely. Is Douglas able to come out for interview? I don't know how bad his ankle is.
Oh, I think he's in the medical room, icing it up. Yeah. I don't think he's available for comment right now.
Okay.
And I'm picturing at that point, you hear his voice yelling at someone from the locker room.
What about
Damn
David?
it, Devin, why did you run that base?
You're no good at baseball. No good.
You're the worst. Is David available? I'd really like to talk to David Williams.
Oh yeah, I'll go. Yeah, absolutely. Let me check. Timmy, is David available?
Yeah. Just a minute. I just got out of the shower. I'll be right there. He's kind of pulls on his street clothes.
Bad boy hands you a towel. She wants to talk about the game.
You're learning, Timmy. You're learning.
Right on. All right. Yeah. Let's go meet the media. This is what it's all about. Fame and fortune. All right.
So you limp out. No, it's right. David's not injured. I'm sorry. Bird would.
Yeah.
But it's David. You're good. You head out. Jane Forrester. She's in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. She's attractive, but there's no television station in Gauntlet City that covers the Goblins. So she's got a face for radio too. And she says, "Oh, David, thank you for coming out. Rough night for the Goblins, and I know it had to have been a little difficult for you. This is your first opportunity batting in the 5 spot. Normally you're a little bit lower in the order. What was different tonight that the coach had faith to put you up a little bit higher in the order?"
I've been hitting really well in batting practice, and and I've been really a lot of my performance in the bottom half of the batting order is part of what got us here, right? Part of what edged us into this tournament. I mean, the whole team is really, excuse me. The whole team's really been pulling through this season, and it's super disappointing. We all thought we were gonna take this tournament. So being in the losers bracket is such a letdown, because we really earned this season. So watch for us in the next game. We're gonna come on strong again. We're gonna live up to our potential. So those the old ones, they're in for it.
All right, great. Well, David, really appreciate it. So I'm gonna pause and kind of step in as GM. So the way that, or the is what I'm calling the GM in this game because I'm a dork. So teamwork pool. The best way to refresh the teamwork pool is to talk up another player character in an interview with the media, or talk up another player character to management or administration, and then also kind of teamwork bonding stuff outside of the game can allow you to get a die for teamwork pool. So is there anything that you think we want to try to transition to from David here, or do you think we'll bring the interview to an end?
Yeah. I think David wants to call out his teammates for sure. I mean,
cool. So Jane says, well, there were a few highlights. If you were to give out an MVP to the Goblins for tonight, David, who would you highlight? Who impressed you tonight?
I'd have to say JJ really was like, he was fighting hard for all of us. I mean, his speed was glorious to watch again. It's a shame that we didn't get the rally going, but he was definitely started the rallies, and so we all looked at him as always. And I also really want to point out that it's a super big loss that Bird is injured right now. I mean, that's that happened pretty early in the game, and that might have had a lot to do with what got our mood down, because we really rely on him for everything that he does for the team. So we're hoping that ankle heals up real fast.
Hope so too. I hope he is able to make it out there for at least a bottom half of the game against the old ones, because you could use his power. He's definitely a good hitter. Well, David, thank you so much for chatting with us, and I understand that Doug is resting his ankle in hopes of being ready to go. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here tonight. Thank you, David. We'll go ahead and continue on with the post-game show. And with that, she kind of rolls in and starts moving on to chatting with the manager, and you guys are released. And so now we'll jump to the bus, because I think that Douglas Bird had a little something to say there, if I remember correctly. Go ahead and refresh your David Williams. You can go from 0 teamwork pool because you spent the 1, increase that by 1. Because if you're backing of another player. And I'm going to give JJ a teamwork pool for not allowing Doug to stick his foot in his mouth. That is, you were taking one for the team there, as it were. So that's great. So, Doug, what is it when you are limping your way up into the air-conditioned bus for your 3-hour trip that starts around 11:30 at night?
I think Brick is helping me. We don't have the access to crutches. We didn't bring the crutches with us, so I'm limping along with Brick, and Brick helps me get up. And Brick is like trying to pull me back further in the bus to sit me down, and I'm like, no, I'm going to talk to Eric. I'm going to talk to Eric right now. And I just lay into him, and it's nonsense, but it's angry. It's like, the fish rots from the head, Eric. What are you doing? Calling me like that? Telling me I need to go steal that base? You know I can't run fast.
Oh man. Come on, Dougie. That was aggressive, but it was the right call. You should have. You were there. If you put in full hustle.
You know, that may have worked before the playoffs. That may have worked before may have worked before now, Eric. This is the playoffs. We got to play a little bit safer sometimes. I know we got to go hot, but sometimes you're in my head and you make that stupid call and I go for it. And now look where we are. We got to go play the old ones again. I don't want to go back to Dunsmith. The whole point of winning this game was so we didn't have to end up back in Dunsmith.
Nice. I don't think there's a die roll. You just get to vent on him, and eventually Eric's like, well, come on, man, let's just come up with a way to get you taped up, make sure that ankle's okay for you to be able to play, because you're making the trip regardless. You get tomorrow off. So you guys, long bus ride home, and you come rolling in just a little bit before 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I think, Rich, I just wanted to say, like after that fracas kind of dies down, like I sidle up to Eric as well, and I'm like, but seriously, man. Ninth inning, you're flashing me the steal sign with 2 outs?
Mike's already talked to me.
Like, I get it. We're all excited to be there.
Too. I knew you could have made it.
But like, even the 1% chance, and I know that's a high estimation, that I get caught with Webby throwing, with that limp noodle, that overcooked spaghetti that he calls his right arm. I lost my train of thought. But 1% chance that I do get caught, the game's over. Like, we still need 2 runs there, man.
Yeah. I just wanted to take it out of Hoy's. I want to get you in scoring position.
I'm in scoring position in the on-deck circle, man. Stand up and walk to the back of the bus.
Nice. I like it a lot. Cool. So we're going to take our one break here. It's 1 after the hour, because I don't know what time zones you guys are in. So let's go ahead. 2 after now. It just slipped. Let's take a 6-minute break, and we'll pick up with what you guys are going to do in your day off, and then we'll jump into the Innsmouth game, and that's how we'll end up our session. So see you guys in 6 minutes.
This is one of the few baseball hats I have.
Balloon. I like it.
I got it one of those hat stores you can have anything written on a hat. This is one of their demonstration hats where
you bought the demonstration hat.
The balloon font, and I just had to have a purple hat that says balloon.
I can. I'm trying to imagine what team that would be. The Celebration City Balloons.
Sure. Yeah. Go Balloons. They're an environmental nightmare. The balloons. Every single home run they release like 1,000 balloons, and it's just terrible for the bird population.
This seems problematic. I'm trying to quickly come up with a new table for the opposition half when you're not doing a full inning.
Can you just flip the table? So there's like the at-bat team versus the...
Well, the table's designed to try to estimate an entire inning, so there's some stuff where the player team could score or the opposing team could score. And if we're only doing half of an inning, like you guys bat, and now is the time for you guys to be on defense, that doesn't work. Yeah. So I've got an idea of how I want to shape it. I'm just going to take a minute.
I will say that the catcher's abilities definitely seem to be from a different version.
Do they? That's good. Okay.
Yeah. Like laying down a perfect bunt is the only offensive one they have.
Yeah, they're supposed to be really defensive, and the way that the diamond crawl works, there isn't as much opportunity for defense. So that's the thing to keep in mind. How are you guys feeling about it so far? Any thoughts?
Rolling down 3 right at the top is really hard to come back from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Still makes for a fun game.
Yeah, well, it makes it exciting, right? Sometimes your team gets down and you got to fight back.
Okay. Keith? Okay, there you are. I was like, maybe Keith has a...
Sorry, it took a little longer than I thought.
Okay. I was like, because there have been times when I've come back and not remembered that I didn't turn my camera on, and I was just sitting there waiting. I did that once before, and I thought, I hope that's not what's happening. All right. I was telling them.
Can I use the bathroom and make a cocktail? It turns out it takes longer than 6 minutes. But don't worry, we're good.
Cool. I am doing a quick thing where I'm creating a table for the bottom half of an inning because it seems like that is a thing we should have. Shoot. Cool. Yeah, that you guys rolling down by 3 that's fast was pretty rough. Pretty rough.
I think Walter's right, though. It does make for an interesting game if you start out behind when you hit the playthrough.
Right. So double clicking to highlight an entire cell is not something that Google likes. Sweet. All right. I have now created a diamond crawl chart for the opposition half. So if you guys decide to play through the top or bottom half of batting, and you guys go on defense. This is what we'll roll. Players on defense.
Is that also in the game time?
It is not. I create it in the usage die edition, and I'll add it to the game time now. Good question, though.
So you're changing the document right now.
Right this second. It's live.
Game design right before your eyes.
Live game design.
Live game design, my friends.
The crowd is hushed in anticipation.
Okay. Right. It is now there. Although I may move it. No, I'm going to leave it. Sit. Just leave it where it is. All right. So you guys are now playing the Innsmouth Old Ones the next time we go into game time. But now we're going to deal with a bit of downtime. Get to know you guys as people a little bit here. Your ball players. So you guys come back. It was a Friday night game. And you get back into Gauntlet City around 4 in the morning. The Rodriguez family, I'm going to say that Eddie's there when he told Juanita to sleep in. Or he didn't even bother waking her up. But Eddie's there to pick you up, David. JJ and Doug, you guys, actually, let's double check. Making sure I understand. You guys have your own. Oh, JJ, you room with other ball players. So who do we say? I think Hoy was one of your roomies, right?
I can't remember if we decided or not. I don't think we ever had a scene there, so it didn't really come up.
I think we did. So we'll say it's Hoy.
Okay.
How far is your apartment from the stadium, do you think?
I'm guessing the stadium is probably in a ritzier section of town because there would be, even with a minor league ballpark, I imagine businesses sprung up around it. So it's probably a train ride and a bus ride, I would guess.
Wow, it's a train run at 4 in the morning in Gauntlet City?
It's an Uber split 4 ways. Then I guess we're maybe before that.
Taxi.
So taxi, yeah.
Yeah, you got to call a cabbie. Split 4 ways. This sounds great. You guys all crunch in the back. You've got your bags up on your on your laps there, and one guy actually sits up front. We'll say that Devin sits up front. He's all depressed anyway. He's quiet. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. He just sits there like he's just saddle soaping his glove the whole way. You guys get back to the apartment. It's 4 ways, so there are 3 other ball players that you room with. We'll say it's Devin, Hoyjun Park, and one of the pitchers. Who do you think?
It's got to be the bus.
The bus. Nice. So Jordan, the bus Foley.
You don't want to share a bathroom with the bus.
Yeah, you don't want to share a bathroom with the bus. You don't want to share a backseat of a cab with the bus, but sometimes
yeah, why is Devin up front? He's like half the size.
It's a season of bad calls.
Was this Eric's idea? Come on.
Eric's like, you just sit up front, Devin. Poor Eric Duncan. He's not going to get called up to the bigs to manage there, I don't think. So you guys come rolling in. What does your apartment look like? What is something that we see in JJ's apartment that shows that it's 4 guys living there 6 months out of the year? Shows part of how temporary a place it is.
There's definitely a strong dorm room vibe, but also like a lot of ad hoc, like furniture, like it's not really a table. It's just the boxes and a sheet of plywood on top of it. And you can see the personalities of the people. Like I think Hoy Jun is neater and he's like, we share a room. So like our room's okay. And the bus is just running rampant over Devin in their split bedroom. And it's like Devin has like a little sliver that is his bed and the stuff under his bed. And Jordan has taken over the rest of the room. And it's like cascading avalanches of dirty clothes and debris and wrappers and things.
I'm gonna say that you guys have like a futon couch, and occasionally Devin crashes there, like tonight. I mean, he just doesn't want to deal with poor Jordan's mess. That sounds good. The bus. The bus, he keeps quiet, but he's not in a terrible mood. Like, he didn't even play, just a thing. Lost games happen. Guys, come in. Everybody's starting to head to bed. We still got a chance at this tournament. I mean, a good show. Coach told me I get to start. So if we have a good game against the old ones, get to keep playing.
Wait, did he say he's starting for the next game?
The game, yeah, the next game he gets to start.
Yeah, man, we got a good chance with you pitching up there, man. But yeah, don't give up 3 runs in the first 2 innings, okay?
Devin chuckles at that, and Hoy Jones Park says, "Happens to the best of us, I guess." I don't know.
Yeah, you know what they say: if you succeed 1 out of 3 times, you're in the Hall of Fame, right?
Chuckle. Hoy Jun Park mumbles something in Korean, and then he's gonna head to bed. Devin says, "Yeah, I'm just gonna watch some. Just gonna watch. Oh, is it 4? There's probably nothing on. Turns on the TV anyway. The remote.
Hey, don't beat yourself up, man.
Okay." He's watching WGN.
Does not get through him.
No. Now, if you want to use leadership here to try to get him out of his funk, you certainly could try that.
Oh, why not?
Yay!
I do think there's some therapeutic value to being in your funk, but let's give it a try.
All right.
I don't think I have good leadership, though.
Actually, your leadership's not bad. It's a 10.
Yeah.
9 or lower.
Average. All right.
You're not going to make it worse. I'll just tell you that. Unless you're all D20, then there might be a fight.
Oh, I got a 2.
He looks up at you. I knew it was crazy when I did it. Stupid.
It's only crazy if it doesn't work. Otherwise, they put you on Sports Center.
That would be cool.
But
get off the futon couch.
You just gotta know the count, know the outs, know when to take those crazy, stupid risks, those runs for glory. You got some wheels, kid. You're gonna make that play someday. I'm like 2 years older.
Like, no, but he totally eats it up.
I'm the father figure in this relationship.
I know, you are so the father figure. That's good. So Devin he nods a little bit. They've already turned up, like Joy's already turned off the light, so it's mostly just street lamps from outside the apartment that are lighting up the room. And he says, "We'll beat the old ones."
Definitely. Give him a fist bump. Like, if I don't get into bed before Hoy falls asleep, he's going to give me a raft of shit tomorrow, so I got to get in there.
Okay, man.
He's a light sleeper.
Cool. And you come in, and you can already hear the bus snoring away. Because he's a big guy, right? So he's a super snorer. Yeah. He saw some logs. And that will be JJ going to bed. So I'm curious, since you're trying to hold down a job, Doug, what is it that you do? Because your dad, he had a pretty good career,
right?
But didn't help you. He shut you off. He doesn't pay for your way,
right? He thinks I need to earn it. And he had a great career. He had to retire due to an injury. And he has started Horus Security, keeping with the bird theme. Horus Security, who I work for. And I think it would be amusing if directly after getting off the bus, I have to go to work. It's a night job. God. On top of just injuring myself at a game and having a bad night, I have to go work security. I don't know where I work security. Those who know Gauntlet City better.
I think maybe you work security at we're gonna call it the Lowell grocery store. Like overnight, they have horse security. Just kind of, it's not like you sit in a booth. You just patrol around. You don't have a car or anything. You just walk the beat during the hours that they're closed from.
Which is awfully difficult tonight. So I've actually taken one of the, after toughing through it and not letting on that I'm actually injured to the on-site person, because that would be a whole thing. After they leave, I unplug one of the little powered scooter things for the store, and I patrol the whole place in the powered shopping cart thing all night long with my ankle up and on ice. Like, I'm taking peas out of the fridge and sticking them on my ankle to ice myself, and then like swapping them back periodically as I pass through the frozen food aisle.
These peas were not good. Like weeks later, there's a woman who's like returning the peas.
They're all freezer burned.
Yeah, all of them freezer burned. That is great. So we'll follow you a little bit towards the sun rising, and you're able to finish off your long day, right? Because team got up and you had that long trip to get there. So you've been awake for 20 hours, probably. What is the place that Douglas Bird stays at?
It's not far from the stadium. It is a college apartment. Like, that's the leasing company. They lease to a lot of college students, so the rent is kind of low. The upkeep is also low. They don't really fix a whole lot of things, and unfortunately for me, it is a 2-story walk up. So I have to limp my way up the staircase. I think Douglas Bird, although it's not the best apartment place, and he's surrounded by younger kids who are constantly breaking things and throwing wild parties at bad times for him. He keeps his place pretty immaculate. There's pictures on the wall. There's things, memorabilia of his father, memorabilia of some of his time in college, and yeah.
Doug played in college and then went to the minor leagues. Oh, cool. So he is a lot older.
Yeah, a little bit older.
You're like 25. God, so old.
Yeah, so old, right? So it's a fairly immaculate place. It's well maintained, but nothing is super nice. It's just been kept up. He does actually have crutches finally from a previous injury, so he can get up off of his ankle, and he just passes out with the windows wide open and the light pouring in and gets some sleep.
Oh yeah, passes out in the daytime. Luckily, with all the college kids on a Friday night, a lot of them were partying. So you arrive when they are crashed, and you don't have to deal with their noise. What about Walter? So for David Williams, you had gone live with the host family. Eddie Gonzalez picks you up. Eddie's got a truck, right? So he throws your bag in the bed of the truck in the back there.
So nice of Eddie to meet me. They're just the nicest people. They take really good care of me. They're super fans.
They are. And he says, hey, David, I'm really sorry for the loss. I'm sorry we couldn't get out to see the game. It's such a long trip.
Oh, well, I totally understand. I mean, just you coming out here to meet me, that just means so much to me, you know? I mean, I know some of the guys are going back to, like, empty houses, or they're, gonna have to move it back home on their own. And you're always so supportive. The team wins or loses. Eddie, you really make everything so much smoother for me and Juanita too. I appreciate you both of you so much. You know, you really didn't have to come here to pick me up. I mean, it means so much to me, but seriously, like, you need your sleep too, right?
Oh, don't worry. It's the weekend. I don't have to work tomorrow. It was no problem. David, I'm real proud of you. Batting fifth. You made a couple great plays out there. You know, Jane Forrester couldn't stop talking about you during the games. You and JJ were just the star players. Well, is Doug going to be okay, little bird?
Oh, I hope so. You know,
he's driving. He like stops at a red light, even though there's no other traffic, right?
It's hard to tell with him because he gets angry about lots of things, but he was really, really angry. Oh, you should have heard the way he was digging into Eric. I mean, that was ugly. It's yeah, I think he must be pretty hurt because he was mad. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Eric too. I mean, Eric's, you know, he's always there for me. He's always looking out for me and putting in a good word for me. You know, he put in a word for me to get me in fifth position this game, but you know, I have to admit he didn't make the best call, and a couple of the team members are calling him out on that. So that's a drag. I'm kind of bummed about that, honestly. You know.
Yeah. Well, he made the right call with you. He definitely had a good game. You just keep your head up, and when you guys face the old ones again, just keep playing. You know. In the day,
yeah, gotta
keep
on.
It's the first time we've ever been in the tournament. First time we've ever been in the tournament. Everything you guys do is gravy.
Yeah,
we're proud of you.
Just keep on making progress, and we'll get there eventually. The team's going to win the championship. I'm going to be in the bigs. It's going to all work out.
So Eddie eventually goes down the road with, you know, perfectly manicured lawns, a bunch of houses that kind of look similar. A lot of ranchers. His rancher, they added a second story to it, and Inez is their daughter. She's off at college, and that's the room that she's at college, so they've kind of redone it. They ungirlified it. But what is one aspect of Inez's room that still says that like a girl used to live here as you kind of make your way up the stairs and head into the room?
Yeah, well, Inez had a lot of clothes, and the closet's still totally full of all her clothes, dresses, shoes. At least 24 pairs of shoes. You know, I made the mistake of opening the closet door once, and like boxes of shoes literally fell out, and I had to like figure out how to stack them all. I never opened the closet door again after that. I just didn't even bother. So I just keep all my stuff in my bag, you know, on the dresser, on top of the dresser. I don't have a lot of stuff.
Eddie doesn't even know, right? Like they don't even know that all those clothes are in there. They just came in and cleaned out all the girly stuff off the walls and swapped out the sheets and all that good stuff. And they evidently missed the morass of clothing. They could have a big yard sale there, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, and Inez is gonna, you know, be home from college. They're really hopeful she'll come home and, you know, spend the winter break here again. So they don't want to. They want to be able to make her feel at home again when she gets back. I understand that.
Cool. How long do you sleep in? Because the Gonzalez are definitely gonna let you sleep as long as you need to.
I will try and sleep all day long. Yeah, I even have some cardboard just for this purpose, because this is not the first time this has happened. And I take some masking tape and I tape some cardboard over the window right next to the bed.
Nice.
That'll help a lot.
Cool. I think it's because they made the second story special. I'm imagining it's like a little something about like those. I can't remember what they're called, but like the windows that come out a little bit, and there's that little sill that you can sit on. So there's one window here, and then the other two are a little bit of an angle kind of deal. And there's that little sitting. I don't know what that's called, but I think that would be a really neat dealie on the second story there. So cardboard up that area, you're able to sleep in, and because you're willing to try to sleep in as much and rest and recover, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll your recovery die, David, because I know that your hit points are down to 5. So go ahead and roll that D8, And Douglas, sounds like once you get off of your work, if you're willing to kind of spend the rest of the day trying to rest and recoup, you can roll that D6 in order to recover some hit points and be able to play in the next game too.
I got a 2.
Okay, so you had 2 to the 5 hit points you've got. Did you really roll a 1?
I did really roll a 1.
You really rolled a
Douglas
1.
Bird is teetering on the edge. He's a glass cannon. Here he goes.
You are a gladiator, son. I'm loving it. All right, cool. So, you double check a thing. So, Stosh is an outfielder, so we're gonna have him in this game. I'm gonna jump to, and I know we're half an hour from in. So, what we're gonna do is just the first couple diamonds, and then we're gonna stop somewhere mid. That way, you guys are thirsty for more and come back next week. That's me. I'm cliffhangering you. But we're going to go ahead and say that Ski is in the game. This one, and I don't know why I have Ski listed as an infielder because he's very obviously an outfielder. So let me fix that. Stick him down here. And we'll call him a right fielder. So that means that Ski, poor Alexander Palma, is no longer a cleanup hitter. So we'll have Stosh Malnarski in as a right fielder, batting cleanup, and Brick is relegated back to NPC status. Doug Bird is now alive and kicking. Cool. So, Innsmouth Old Ones, they're located on a bay. It is always foggy. Even though it is August, it is dark when you arrive. There are rumors that no one sees the sun in Innsmouth. Innsmouth is a depressing place. Everyone who comes to the games are stoic and taciturn, and mostly depressed. And so the Innsmouth Old Ones, they're known for their most popular bar, the Casks of Nyarlathotep. Their manager is Harry P. Lovecraft. Their hitting coach is Charles Dexter Ward. And as you guys can see, their mascot is a Cthulhu, a cute Cthulhu, like an adorable plushy Cthulhu style. So that is the team that you guys will be facing. So the lineup is read out on the bus. David, you are in batting fifth, still playing third. Ski is making the trip, but he is showing up late because he has his family is a polka band, and so he plays with them from time to time, and he's going to have to show up in the family van a little bit late. So you guys show up at Innsmouth. There's a low fog that rolls in. All of the stadium, concrete stands, very uncomfortable to sit in. Like broken concrete.
Does the organ never actually stop playing? It just kind of drones continuously.
Yes,
the entire game.
drones continuously on.
In a minor key.
Yes, it's maddening. We don't have a sanity stat in this game. We should be
the outfield walls have non-Euclidean angles. Playing the bounces is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So, and it's a more of an old school minor league stadium. It really only can seat like a few thousand people instead of like a really big stadium. There's no outfield berm. It's literally just like the fence and then the bay. So when you hit a home run, it's like splooshes out and will never be found again.
Hand reaches up to catch it out of the water.
Yeah, this is not one of those things where there are guys in canoes out there to catch home runs. They do not want to be out in the water at night.
There were for the first few games, but they disappeared.
They disappeared. This guy stopped showing up, is what everyone is told. And yeah, so that's the Innsmouth Old Ones that you guys play. We're going to jump into game time. You guys are visiting, and we will go ahead and roll for the first 3 innings, the first diamond of our diamond crawl. Who would like to make that roll?
I give that one a go.
All right. Rolls a d20, unmodified.
All right. Do I have to tell you what it is? It's a 3.
Okay, well, it's not a 2.
Just a 2-run lead.
Okay, so
Bus, come on.
Oh man, so Bus strings. He gives a run up in the first 3 innings. Actually, he gives up a run in the first 2 innings and then 2 runs in the third. But in the top of the third, you guys got a run as well. So we're going to say there are quite a few hits that are going on here. We'll say that you guys have gotten.
Well, they only have
hits.
a 2-run lead. I didn't quite do as bad.
You're right. Thank you. And so they've got 3-1 at the top of the 4th.
I mean, if you want the Bus to give up like 20 runs and we score 18, that's fine. I can hold that over his head for a long time.
Forever. Oh, the Bus is pissed, man. He is very angry at himself. Who would like to roll our second diamond? Roll high, my friends.
I'll roll the second diamond. Here we go.
Right.
I'll drag it out to the center so I know which one. Here we go. It's an 8.
An 8 is not like a 2 or a 3 in that the player has a defensive opportunity to stop a run.
Ooh.
Cool. So I'm going to say that you guys score another run in the 4th, but they score a run in the 5th, and that knocks the Bus out. So it is 4-2, bottom of the 6th. And because you rolled, I give the defensive opportunity to you, Douglas Little Bird. And so here's what we have. Trying to think what's a good first name. Yeah. So we have a person on. Oh shoot! I've got the Dog Boys batting order. I should have fixed that. So I will fix that in a minute. And you guys are actually batting against the Old Ones, which I can grab that real quick. Just need to do this thing. So we're going to say that. Shoot, I paste this value. Sorry. All right, there we go. So it is the bottom of the 6th, and you've got a defensive opportunity. Kevin Taylor is on third base. There are 2 outs. And Speedy Levi Michael dribbles one to the shortstop. And rather than throwing it home, he's trying to get the force at first, but he bounces it towards you, and you're going to have to make a really long stretch. So you've got to make a fielding roll in order to snag this ball out of the dirt. It is not the best throw that you've gotten from your shortstop, none other than Gosuke Keto. And so you need to make a fielding roll. You can roll a single d20, I think. Do you? I don't think you have any disadvantages from fielding. Yep, you're good. All right, so roll a d20. You need to roll a 12 or lower.
Brick would have been better at this. Here we go.
This is what Brooke's built for.
Sweet. I rolled a 2.
A 2. Now, wait a second. That is more than 10 below your target, or 10 or more below your target. You get to step up. I'm going to let you do it. You can go on the team tab, the team usage die. You can move that from a D6 to a D8. But you have to describe how awesome this looks, because it inspires the whole team.
Okay, so run it through it one more time. The ball is...
Yeah, so what happens, there's a ball that's hit to the shortstop. He grabs it, and he throws it, and it kind of it's going down in the dirt. It's one of those, not a very good throw. You've got to either make a really long stretch or a snag or really lean out, something like that.
So I managed to lean out, get it in midair, and then spin really quickly and tag the runner right in the leg.
I love that. I love that play.
Before they get to the base, and they kind of trip a little bit. They don't actually fall over, don't injure anyone, but they have to like jump and catch a couple steps past first base, and they get really ticked off. And I hold the ball up and point to a kid in the crowd, toss it over. He's got goblin ears. They sell little foam.
Yes, you got a kid who made the trip, huh?
Yep, a kid who made the trip. And the Goblin fans are actually the only exciting ones, so they're kind of easy to pick out in the crowd amongst the jury people in their robes. Which, why are they in their robes? So yeah, the kid is all jumping up and down and gets the ball and it's all excited. And I'm like, okay, I managed not to twist my ankle as I made that maneuver. I think it's going to be okay.
Cool. And that is the third out, and that will bring the 6th inning to a close. You guys are down 4-2, and I'm true to my word, gentlemen, because I will stop our game session right here. So we're going to pick up at the top of the 7th, and we'll figure out our batting order then, because there's no way I'll remember unless I wrote myself a note, but we'll figure out the batting order of where you guys are at the top of the 7th when we resume next Friday evening. So that is the end of our first of the Usage Die Diamond Crawl edition of a Bat Hack playtest session, guys. And so just take a moment or two to reflect. And then we're going to do Roses and Thorns. If we can focus it on the game system itself, especially Walter and Greg, anything about like first experience, things that were confusing or weird, and then as a returning veteran, Keith, and of course a lauded game designer yourself.
Who's doing lauding? Was that just you? Just so you could say that?
Yes, pretty much. I lauded you so that you could be lauded.
Thanks for the
I know
lauds.
that Westerns and baseballs are very closest.
I mean, I won't disagree with that.
All right. So we'll do our traditional Roses and Thorns. Feel free to thorn the crap out of me. As a reminder, my friends, I am the son of a Marine Corps sergeant who became a high school principal. You are not going to break my heart with your critical feedback, especially because this is a game that I want to make as accessible and fun as possible. And so every critical bit of feedback that you have, I value. It may help to make a better game. I would hope it does. So who would like to go first with Thorns?
I can go first.
All right.
I don't know if it is a thorn yet, so I'm putting a bookmark in it. Okay. I feel like the drama felt more intense when you were creating the sessions when we were playing in Gauntlet Con, like rather than just having the dice decide them, because I think you were automatically creating a chart situation. But I'm drawing from a very limited data set at this point, so I'm not sure.
I feel you. Actually, I hear what you're saying. I wonder, because I was kind of processing on that as well. I wonder if it's just due to my lack of familiarity with the Diamond Crawl, and that or maybe if I need to tweak the table results to make them a little bit more pregnant with exciting results. Maybe a three-run lead versus like stopping a rally it will be more fun to immediately set up a situation where you're stopping a rally rather than just, 3-run lead. That seemed to suck the wind out of our sails in the first game pretty hard.
Or if it had some kind of decision point there where like you could try this or that will happen.
Yep, decision tree. Okay, cool.
Because I think you might have noticed this as it was starting. It was depriving us of chances on defense because there was a lot more defense in the first game I played, which was cool to see. Although that last defensive play was awesome.
It was. And I was even noticing that some of the and I'm stealing a thorn potentially, but one of the advantages that the first baseman gets is that after the 6th inning, if you're behind, you can roll with it. You don't have to roll with disadvantage to swing for the fences. That made more sense when we played through the first 5 innings because you didn't have access to that first 5-6 innings. Now you automatically, because we're diamond crawling, you're always doing that. Like you're always going to swing for the fences. Who wouldn't? So that's a thing that I need to reevaluate. Anything else?
Thorn-wise, no, sir.
Okay, cool. Would like to go next?
I could go next.
Okay.
So realizing now that the diamond crawl is brand new, I think this criticism probably, it gives it some perspective on me. But I'll put it out there anyway, just because it's the one thing that really comes up for me as a new player. Is I read the rules the other day, and the one thing that I found most confusing, or at least kind of like missing, was like the idea of the diamond crawl. I thought that's made sense, but kind of like how the transition happens between the diamond crawl and then doing like regular plays with the the hitting and the fielding. That wasn't kind of that felt confusing to me. Like I felt like if I was going to run this game just off of the rules as written, it wasn't clear to me how I would make that transition smoothly. Like when one would trigger and when the other would trigger.
I don't think I even like put that on paper. I had it in my head, but I don't think I put it in the document at all. Like how you would transition out of that. That's a really good point. Thank you, Walter. That's very helpful. Anything else? Greg, it has come to you, my friend.
Okay, so my list. No. This isn't really a rose or a thorn. This is just an observation. This is what it feels like to play D&D not having any sort of fantasy reference, which is really an interesting experience for me. It's like describing some of the terminology you're throwing out and like in the fielding, I'm just not picturing in my mind. That's not necessarily a criticism. It's just an interesting thing I noticed as I was getting it. I know I do understand baseball. Just there were times where I was a little confused. What would help with that, I think, on the play sheet, having some sort of diamond, like actual reference with checkboxes or something, just so I know, like, hey, there's someone on second. Or something to like visualize what the field looks like at all times. I don't know exactly what that would look like, but that's something I thought of.
I've always in my head kind of had this idea of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the dice game that has cards, but it's basically the player cards called Bottom of the Ninth. It's great.
I've gotten to play that a few times.
It has a diamond, like the baseball diamond is like right there, and it's got some of the rules of the game. And I kind of imagine this game as benefiting from that, almost like a map, like a hex map in a D&D game. It's very astute, Greg, and I think that I can see that in here without making it too much. Or I don't want to have a third. Force you guys have a third browser open, so I'm going to think about the character keeper and how I can.
Yeah, something like an Ashcan version would be something similar to like Worldwide Wrestling, where there's sort of a cheat sheet for like what's something that's like an illegal move, or what's something like what's a really clutch position, a really tenuous position on the field. Going off of that, the field side is missing. That's already been talked about with the hex crawl. I
was just gonna say, Greg, I was thinking the same thing, like how Worldwide Wrestling makes wrestling accessible. Because I don't watch wrestling and I play that and I'm like, oh, I do that thing. Yes.
Nice.
Exactly.
And
then
okay.
Something that I love the usage die. I think it's great because it keeps you engaged for the entire roster, for the entire batting order. And I'm like, oh man, we're gonna hit like 3 usage dies here. Do I want to steal that base? I don't know. I can't trust them. They might roll crappy. But because if the mechanics when you change them for the hex crawl, and using the usage die as that progresses, if more things are like the catcher where you can affect the usage die roll, there needs to be some system where the ownership of who rolls needs to be systemized. Because if I have an ability that actually affects it, like when we did that with the usage die and I told Devin, hey, calm down, man, just get on base, right? And I allowed for that reroll. Now it sort of becomes like, well, why don't I just do that every time?
Right. That's a good point. And off the top of my head, like I may want to do it similar to, I think it was Marvel Heroic RPG and how they handled initiative. Like, you guys tell me who is the one who rolls. Now that person who just rolled is the one who can say who's the next person to roll, and it has to go around before that person gets another opportunity. Maybe it's the way we go.
That would be a really good way of handling it. Yeah.
There's an exclamation point by that note, because that needs to happen by next week. Okay. Anything else, Greg?
No, that's it.
You had a list. That was just like 2 or 3. Okay, that's good. Because I like to do this in snake order. You get to get the first rows, aspects of the game you liked, or attaboys to other players for their play.
The math on this game is really solid. It doesn't allow you to roll like a 7-point lead if we really played through the innings. That might be just kind of the part of baseball, but I was like kind of worried that the math might kind of run away on us, but tempering it with the usage die, I really enjoy the, hey, really it's the last 3-4 innings of baseball are the interesting ones. I totally agree with that. I'm not sure what the old version looked like if you played through every single inning.
I'll tell you later, but
okay, yeah. But I really enjoyed the, hey, here we are in the 6th. This is how it is. It sort of reminded me of the PBTA principle of sort of you always start in some sort of interesting situation, and 2 rolls on that D20. I could see how you would end up like 6 runs ahead. But at that point, you just can roll through the whole game and then go back to the interlude scenes. So I think it's very well designed on the back end side of things for keeping the scores within a realistic range. And I had an absolute blast despite being somewhat foggy on baseball.
Thank you. Walter, what rows did you have?
I really liked how the interactions between teammates and the media is built into it, and I don't know that interactions with fans is built into it as much. Like, it sounds like with the media and encouraging each other, we can either get these team bonuses or the usage die. But it'd be interesting if there was like some more stuff with fans as well that could influence that, because I really liked the scene where Bird gave the ball to the kid. That was good.
Yeah, definitely a rose from me. The interaction with the kid, the one Goblin fan who's down there by the first baseline. That's great. That was really cool. Anything else, Walter?
That was it.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Keith, what roses did you have?
Echoing some of that stuff. I liked some of those little moments, especially, and I think that exemplifies what I really love that I've gotten to see from a couple characters now in this session and the previous session I got to play in. Like, the simple character creation process is consistently creating very strong characters, and we've had good players to present them, and just like the way that people take those characters and are running with them so far. Everyone I've seen play it, like, we've gotten these ball player archetypes, like immediately, like, oh, I get who Little Bird is. Awesome. Oh, and that's a beautiful detail built on these, random stat rolls that we had to roll down. I think as a story gamer, primarily, I would tend to think, oh man, I'm stuck with these stats. That's archaic. But then it's like, oh, neat. That's the player I have. Okay, that's not who I would have made. I would have just created Chase Utley if I had a blank slate. And instead I have this like slap hitting speedster, and I'm loving him. And seeing the other characters emerge from the dice rolls is very joyful for me.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, I think you've already heard this one, Keith, but the biggest misstep I've made in the iterations of this game yet is in preparation for Origins, knowing that I had a shorter window, right? Well, not a shorter window because it's like a 4-hour slot. But anyway, in my head, I said, I want to make character creation as easy as possible. And I went to point assignment, or basically like stats, kind of like in Dungeon World, where you had a 15 and a 12 and a thing, and you just assigned them. It was terrible. It was really, really horrible, because you have to conceptualize what your character is before you assign the stats. And if you don't know what the stats mean in the game, you end up making a character that may suck based on what you're trying to achieve. It really wasn't as fun, and there was no character discovery. So I dropped that like a hot potato. And I've really enjoyed. I got scared of it. It's like the story gamer of like, oh no, you can make whatever character you want, but no, really, there is something to be said for rolling dice and discovering your character. I'm glad you
taking away the choice actually made it way better.
Yeah, right. It does. It really. It doesn't make sense, but it's that chaos that people find stories out of random events. And yeah, especially when we saw Doug Bird with 5 leadership, like that says a lot. Cool. So thank you guys so much. What we're going to do at the start of next session, and I meant to do this at the end of this one, but we're at time anyway, is I want Little Bird and David to make a level, because I want you guys to go through that process anyway.
Okay, I'm going to be out next week, by the way.
That's right.
Back
that's
for
right.
the last 2 sessions.
Yep. That's right. You're out in second and back for the third and fourth. So yeah, David will be NPC'd, and that's a-okay. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we'll have you make a level when you're back for a third session, and we'll start off with Little Bird making second level, which means you get to re-roll your stats on D20, and you get to roll twice for 2 of them. The hit and likability. And if you roll,
now, if I'm rolling twice, does that mean it's possible that it can go up 2 points, or does that mean I just have more likelihood?
It's like rolling with advantage, rolling with disadvantage. It doesn't go up 2 points. It would go up 1.
Because my points are so low that my chance of bumping my scores is really good.
Yeah. That's why it's like, oh, you got a 5. That's okay. It's going to go up to a 6 pretty soon, kind of thing. That's one thing I really like about this system, and that's why I wanted to kind of let you guys sound through it and see what your thoughts were after that. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and let you gentlemen go exactly on time. I'm so impressed with myself. Mark it. Like, I need to stop broadcast now.